government that needs to start taking stock of the fact that right now, Emily, in China, there's 250 million eCNY wallets. 250 million. We're still talking about whether there should be government central bank digital currency. We're still studying that.
So you think we're going to fall behind? The United States?
I think we already are falling behind.
Most companies can't survive that very easily. The stock price goes down, the investors get nervous, and for like a minute, right, the price of Ripple went down. And within days, what did the industry say? Hold my beer. We're going all in on Ripple.
Because XRP serves a purpose. It's a function that facilitates cross-border payments. It's not some store of value, kind of arbitrary value that is not pegged to anything. This is actually what legitimate financial institutions use.
I've been in contact with a reliable source within the Canadian military, and he told me today by email that if I had any sense, I'd take my money out of the Canadian banks because the situation is far worse than I've been informed.
The SEC brought a case against Ripple. Now you're advising some other companies in this space, and they point out or suggest that this is a conflict.
Well, and let me say that we've run a number of cases during my tenure at the SEC in the ICO space, offerings and security.
Know what you hold?
On-demand liquidity. Where was Gary Gensler?
Enjoy the ride, pal.
If you got some bags, welcome to the party. Welcome back to some more Moon O'Clock News. No breakfast, no coffee, just straight extra. Bullishness. Shout out to the latest sub, Marcus A in the building. Appreciate you stopping by. Stuffing some bags. Go ahead. Throw on those moon suits and those pilot shades. Buckle up. Because the future's extra. Bullish. Let's go full speed, full throttle into the cryptoverse. We got the total global cryptocurrency market cap today at 1.1 trillion, down about 1% in the past 24 hours. We got XRP here in the numbers 6 spot, falling to around 37.5 cents, down about 0.7 in the past 24. Stellar XLM right around 8-9 cents, down 1.5% in the past 24. We got BTC right around 23,000, ETH right around 15-16 hundo. We got Flare Networks here falling beneath 4 cents, and we got Songbird falling beneath the penny at 0.0095, down almost 5% in the past 24. Kayhan says it's the U.S. government that needs to start taking stock. We're falling behind.
This field isn't going anywhere. This field is growing, and it's growing so much that we are going to direct every single agency in the federal government to come up with a plan here. I think, we take a step forward, but then you see, we're a big government. We're a big system. We have states, we have local entities. So we take a step forward with the EO, and then we take some steps back sometimes too. And I think what I see is crypto founders are confused by that. They're starting to think, well, I could go to this jurisdiction where there's a single regulator and you don't have 50 states with different rules. It's the US government that needs to start taking stock of the fact that right now, Emily, in China, there's 250 million eCNY wallets. 250 million. We're still talking about whether there should be government central bank digital currency. We're still studying that.
So you think we're going to fall behind? The United States?
I think we already are falling behind.
Fall behind China?
I think we're falling behind.
What are the dangers of falling behind China and the rest of the world?
This is years ahead, so I don't want people to take a headline and say, oh, I think the US dollar will be, no longer the global currency, reserve global currency. I'm not saying that now, but fast forward decades, and if you no longer need to use the dollar because you have an alternative, I think that's a real problem.
What would we use instead?
Well, I think that there are going to be stable coins out there that people who have access to a smartphone will use. There is a demand for it. We see a 285% year-over-year growth with stable coins. So people are clearly liking the idea of this. Now, again, there have been some spectacular...
Wait till they get a HODL of that HODL.
President Biden...
XRP community was like, hold my beer.
I think Ripple was meant to be that big case. Right? Normally, when the SEC goes after somebody as big as Ripple, that is just the fact that they have brought a case kills the company, right? Traditionally, most companies can't survive that very easily. The stock price goes down, the investors get nervous, and for like a minute, right, the price of Ripple went down. And within days, what did the industry say? Hold my beer. We're going all in on Ripple. And the price went up, and Ripple said, we're fighting. Well, Ripple said we're fighting, they probably have been under investigation for 4 or 5 years before the complaint was filed. But they said, this isn't hurting us. Our community's behind us. Our value of Ripple's going up. So bring it. We don't need to settle because this isn't hurting us. And so at that point, the SEC was basically out of tools. Like they put all their tools in their toolbox that traditionally worked. They turned up the heat just like they always did. And the industry said, hold my ear, we're doubling down, watch us DeFi.
Well, and Ripple's answer to this is, you want proof that we are legit? Look outside the US. I mean, the Ripple network's never been stronger outside the US.
Right.
And all the use cases that they built that were supposed to sort of replace the Swift network and the traditional rails that were so cumbersome, they're working really well. So it's like...
But your point is a good one, that maybe this is, sort of lateral thinking by the SEC to go after... Wahi, the Wahi brothers.
See, I think it's like, I think your point about Ripple makes sense. I think the Wahi brothers one is more of low-hanging fruit.
We know what's coming, they know what's coming, and they can't stop it. But the SEC is trying to slow down Ripple so ETH and BTC can catch up to the party. John Dean says, very important issue, and I believe that this could be the end of Gary Gensler if properly investigated. Sequoia was also a top investor in FTX, and SBF had $200 million in Sequoia's funds. Ask yourself, why did these folks have so much access to Gensler? The game's all rigged. Here's XRP. XRP serves as a purpose. Payments. Rosie Rios speaks. Listen, everything else is just noise. Know what you hold?
Secretary of the Treasury, which is Secretary of the Treasury chairs, published a report just this last October that examined the potential financial stability implications of crypto asset activities. As you know, crypto has been in the news time and time again, and I just want to share that I am on the board of Ripple. Ripple is XRP.
Rosie Rios consistently conflates XRP and Ripple. Ripple executives will go out of their way to tell you they have a digital asset called XRP, and Ripple is the company. Rosie is a dear friend of Gary Gensler and works closely with regulators. She knows the importance of separating the digital asset and the business. However, time after time, she conflates the two. This means she has a high level of confidence that nothing will come from the SEC. She signed $100 bills as the 43rd treasurer. She's dear friends with Janet Yellen. She knows the key players in Washington.
Gary Gensler is our new SEC chair, who I've known forever, is a dear friend, and I think he is the right person.
Former Treasurer Rosie Rios, welcome back to Treasury.
Rosie is juiced into politics. Gary Gensler wants a job at the Treasury. I'm sure Rosie could help him in his career, and I'm sure the opposite is true too. Does Gary really want to make waves?
And so when people ask me the question, why did you join the board of Ripple? I joined the board of Ripple because XRP serves a purpose. It's a function that facilitates cross-border payments. It's not some store of value, kind of arbitrary value that is not pegged to anything. This is actually what legitimate financial institutions use.
She joined the Ripple board because XRP has utility. It's what legitimate financial institutions use. It's not a subjective store of value. It's useful for cross-border payments.
Specifically for cross-border payments. So instead of days and dollars, it's seconds and cents. And that is the future, in my opinion. And again, this is a function. So this utility piece, when it comes to crypto, is very, very important.
Check out Ferrymore21 on YouTube for the full video. 801 XRP, $1 CBDC would need to ensure user privacy, be identifiable, verifiable, be intermediated, needs to seemingly be transferable between customers of different intermediaries. In any case, digital innovation in the financial sector is here to stay. XRP, hidden in plain sight. Ripple CTO shares email that started it all. The email dated September 17, 2011 is a job application for the position of the lead software engineer. In the email, Schwartz expressed his interest in the position and highlighted his expertise in cryptocurrencies and decades of development experience. He also mentions his involvement in BTC, aka Mr. Satoshi, and his work on Bitcoin's successor. In another tweet, Schwartz said that his project would have been closest to Filecoin, which is a decentralized storage network. However, he noted that the idea was in a very conceptual stages back then. McCaleb responded to the email the following day expressing his interest in meeting Schwartz to discuss the position further. Yes, I've seen your post on the forum. Your resume looks perfect for the job. He says, we'd like to meet you and talk some more. Do you ever come over to the Bay Area? He wrote. Ultimately, Schwartz was hired as the lead software engineer of Ripple. He would later be promoted to the chief cryptographer and eventually CTO. Somebody sent me this in a DM, SEC Gov, cryptocurrencies. And it says cryptocurrencies in the light of extreme complex nature of the legal analysis regarding cryptocurrencies to determine which ones are securities and which are not. Baylor has decided to allow investments in 3 cryptocurrencies, Bitcoin, Ether, and XRP. that are generally accepted to the currencies and are not currently subject to regulations by the SEC. These three cryptocurrencies, including XRP, are treated as non-covered securities. Outside of these cryptocurrency investments and other cryptocurrencies is prohibited. Please note the following: you may not use the three allotted cryptocurrencies to invest in other cryptocurrencies. This is all a show. We know XRP is not a security, but they're trying to shake you out before they flip that XRP switch. February 23rd, 2022, Jordan Peterson says he was told by a military source to withdraw his money from Canadian banks. Withdraw your money from all banks. Justin Trudeau permanently destroyed 20% of the population's faith in the banking system. Banks are not safe. BYOB. Be your own bank.
This morning, I don't know what to make of all of this because it's happening so quickly. I can't believe the state to which the country has degenerated. I've been in contact with a reliable source within the Canadian military, and he told me today by email that if I had any sense, I'd take my money out of the Canadian banks because the situation is far worse than I've been informed. And so that's just one of many such messages I receive on a daily basis. So let's talk about the banks. So here's what our Prime Minister did last week. He permanently destroyed 20% of the population's faith in the entire Canadian banking system and stained the Canadian banking system's international reputation, I would say, for decades.
Take your money and run. Gold, silver, most importantly, XRP, cryptocurrencies. Get ready for the next wave. Get ready for the transformation of all value. Also, remember, Rose and Laitland were dealing with the trial of the century XRP at the center stage. Coins Kid says his XRP about to explode once it finishes the right shoulder of an inverse head and shoulders and break the neckline. He says, I don't like it, to be honest. But what are your views, valid or invalid? XRP Crypto Wolf Shark Tank Kevin O'Leary says that crypto exchanges will continue to fail until regulations are in place. They want those bags back by any means necessary. Are we headed for another collapse? Santamin Feed says True USD has seen waves of previously dormant coins moving to exchanges, propelling its exchange supply to 73% for the first time since June 22nd, 2021. Usually stable coins moving to exchanges amplifies increased buying power and good sign for crypto. Egrat Crypto says XRP fly or dive in July 23. Average sentiment oscillator. ASO presents a depth of market volatility. B, strength and weakness of the trend. C, indicates market trends. D, level of stability to project possible trend of a price movement. Assumption, the same triangle formation and duration are rhyming. The alligator draw I like to call ASO started closing. When the pinkish line crosses the light blue line, XRP will have a major and mega pump. Mr. Huber, we got the evidence. Get those jumpsuits, get those jail cells ready. The trial of the century, the biggest corruption scandal in modern U.S. history. They don't want you with those generational wealth bags.
I do want to ask you one thing because it's something that your critics seem to believe, which is that in your final days at the head of the SEC brought a case against Ripple. Now you're advising some other companies in this space, and they point out or suggest that this is a conflict.
Well, and let me say that we brought a number of cases during my tenure at the SEC in the ICO space, offerings and securities that were not following our rules around registration for wide distribution to the public. I'm not going to comment specifically on the case you mentioned, but in terms of my after government service in the space, what I can say is that the companies that I advise, I don't want to be promoting them, but one is an institutional asset manager, another is a what I would call an infrastructure. I did not know these companies while I was in the government. I was introduced to them after I exited, did my due diligence as to whether I would be an advisor and chose to do so. I did not know these companies.
Jay, let me ask you about something that it winds up in my Twitter feed constantly. I've tried to look into it and done a little research on it. There's this argument about an action that the SEC brought on your last day as the chair of the SEC. This was the one to go after Ripple Labs executives, the CEO, the general counsel, and others, and kind of come after them for some sales that they had planned and whether they were upfront. There has been all kinds of speculation because Brad Garlinghouse, the CEO, the general counsel, have been very public in their pushing back and fighting the SEC on this. And they've done some mudslinging and said that you and others at the SEC were compromised in this decision, that you had input that was coming in from people who are maybe Ethereum fans or others along the way. I get this question constantly. I just want to put it to you. What happened and what do you say to those accusations?
A person can buy from any number of different identities. We may limit the size, the unit size of sale to 8 users with size.
The trial of the century. Get ready for that SEC face melting pump. So, smoke and mirrors.
Gary Gensler is our new SEC chair, who I've known forever, is a dear friend, and I think he is the right person.
Former Treasurer Rosie Rios.
Get ready for the transformation of wealth. Also, get ready for the Extra Bullish Hour, episode 2 this Sunday, 10 p.m. PST, featuring the Rain Dancers. Don't miss it. Also, with that being said, Bagman and Bag Ladies, I dropped a small collection over on XRP Studio for 5 XRP. You can grab one of Gary's evil twins. And with all that wealth on the way, you better have that cryptocurrency bags packed, locked away, secured on the most and easy and safe hardware wallet, the most advanced cryptocurrency hardware wallet, the Descent wallet, the best wallet for XRP, XLM, XDC. Where will you be when those bags, cryptocurrency, the wealth transfer finally occurs? We'll catch you up here for the face melting pump. I am the XRP Bagman, the Moon Commander, currently up here on the mothership, stuffing some bags and enjoying the show. Appreciate you stopping by, tuning in, smashing those likes for some more Moon and Clock news. Hope y'all continue to stay extra bullish out there. Continue holding those good vibes. Remember to sell the FUD, buy up that bag. Don't forget to spread that liquid love. Also, if you're new here, don't forget to drop a subscribe, drop a comment down below. All the OG diamond hands out there, drop a comment down below. Drop an elbow on that like button from the top rope. We'll catch you up here on the mothership for the moon party. BYOB. Bring your own billions. Be your own bank. Peace out, crypto ghost.
We go. We saw the show. Look at us now. We hit 1,000. Where did we go? Nobody knows.
I told you tick-tock, rocket engines getting hot. Pulled Grotto bags packed in. X marks the spot. Descent wallet coins locked. Ripple drop. I made a mess, I need a mop. Coins everywhere, like we hit the slots. Stole the show, call the cops. They flooded non-stop. Build my bags when it drop. And your project exit scan.